All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday. Honestly, we have Target looking good right now, man. Honestly, I'm not gonna say I told you so. Super predictable. Honestly, genuinely one of the best swing trading strategies I've ever seen. You know, you get these opportunities like Target, and we talk about this a lot, but if you're just patient, you just gotta wait. And most of these are gonna turn into long-term good investments anyway. But it's like you get these dips on Target. If you're selective with it, in terms of like where you buy in at, like what I ended up doing with Target, if you look at me, I'm up, my average price on Target is 123s. We're now at 127s. Just super easy. What I ended up doing was, if you guys remember, I bought this dip originally here, right? Like way down here, I bought the dip, and then it bounced back to 130s. We took half of it off, and then at the opening bell, I think we bought more, and we added more to it over the following couple days, and now we're up to basically 127 in a few days. Really nice percentage gains, to be honest. Quickly, so really nice couple days and quickly. Yeah, we don't have many economic reports today. Tomorrow we got some stuff. So tomorrow we have like the Fed minutes report. We have some other stuff tomorrow. What's up, Eduardo, Bao, Blaze, Faye, What, Pawn, Enrique, Joseph, Harris, Z, Lewis, Kim. Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning. Elvin, Boring. Yeah, Nvidia's down. If you look at Nvidia here, here's gold on the left side. So we're looking at gold too, but Nvidia's down to 140s. Sharp, Crypto, Harris, what's up, guys? Ray, same with Nike. Oh, I bought Nike too. I'm up in Nike too. Honestly, in my whole portfolio right now, we're pretty green. We're green in AMD, we bought that. We're green in Amazon, we bought that. We're green in Coca-Cola, we bought that. We're green in Nike, we're green in Pepsi. We're green in all of them, really. I'll take it. You know, it's just profit on the year. What do I want to do? I'll probably take a little bit off a Target here just to protect the trade, I think. Just because I can. We'll just take a tad bit off, like a small amount. Yeah. We'll let the rest ride. Maybe take another little piece of it off here. There we go. Alright, so we took a little bit off of there. Just because we can. We also have... Honestly, we're also still pretty green in like Pepsi. And I know Pepsi pays good dividends, but I'm going to take a small little piece off of Pepsi right now too. Just because we can. Lock it in, protect the trade. Nobody ever went broke, taking profit. Nike. We're in Nike. I think we're in Nike small though. Yeah, we're in Nike kind of small. So I'll probably keep holding Nike. I don't think it's going to hurt me. I know it's down now, but the whole day I think it's up. Why Nvidia down when we have the good earnings report? Because it's never like, you're never going to be able to look at earnings and I always say the same thing, but you're never going to be able to wait for a company to have good EPS, good revenue, and good guidance and just buy it, right? It's just not that easy to make money, and I wish it is. I wish it was, because if that was the case, I'd literally sit around waiting to just buy up healthy earnings stocks, right? But unfortunately, it's more nuanced than that. The moves from earnings happen pre, they happen after, they happen in the months preceding or following the earnings report, and so it's just not that easy. You know, if it was that easy, people would just sit around waiting for a company to report well and just buy it up, and nobody would ever do anything else. They just sit around doing that but unfortunately, it's just not that predictable. It's not that easy. Sharp is correct. Nvidia is priced to perfection, right? There's something called an efficient market, and Nvidia is efficiently priced, meaning it's already where it's supposed to be, right? It kind of underreacted to earnings. A lot of people thought we would get big volatility from Nvidia earnings. Instead, we underreacted, to be honest. If you could just look at the number of EPS and revenue guaranteed multimillionaire. Yeah, it's just not that easy. I always tell people the same thing, and I get it all the time. Like every major earnings report, I get somebody being like, yo, you know, ABC posted good EPS, good revenue, you know, good guidance. I bought it and now it's down. It's like, well, yeah, it's not gonna, most of the time, by the time earnings happen, it's already, you know, they've already ran it up some. So, all right, chat. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. How's our Discord doing this morning? I haven't even checked it out. I see Pawn sending me some stuff. Dow futures are up. New Treasury Secretary nominee. So that's causing some optimism, I guess. Hedge fund manager Scott Besson is now going to serve as Secretary of the Treasury Department. He's a Wall Street figure. Unicredit makes $11 billion bid for rival Italian bank. Unicredit's down almost 4% today. All right, so used car prices went up again, they're saying. MicroStrategy went up more. Yeah, so Macy's is down a little bit. Honestly, I'm surprised Macy's is still around. I guess I can understand it. Like, Macy's is still a public company, and it's still like a store you can go to. We do have CrowdStrike earnings this week. I think that'll be interesting. Pawn's talking about it too, about like the glitch that happened that kind of messed a lot of stuff up. So we're looking for that as well here. Yeah, the question is it time to buy Bitcoin right now? I think Bitcoin breaking 100K is pretty probable. I know Bitcoin futures got up to 100 already. You know, if we look at like Bitcoin here, I know Bitcoin futures, they've already gotten pretty close to this level here where they are up. You know, Bitcoin futures actually hit 100 point whatever. They hit 100.1 or 100.17 thousand. So, but that's Bitcoin futures. It doesn't reflect the actual price of crypto. So apparently there was some Macy's employee hiding something. I'm so glad I don't have payments on my car. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where if you give people cheap access to leverage, it's not even necessarily cheap, but if you give them easy access to leverage, I'll put it like this, right? And this is a true story. When I was 17, I wanted an Xbox, right? I was finally old enough to where I could apply for a credit card. And so when I was 17, I wanted an Xbox. And so I got a credit card. They sent it to me. I activated it. I literally immediately went to the store. I had $300 in credit. Went to the store, bought myself a new Xbox, which at the time was like under $300, and bought myself a game, and then that was it. I went home, never paid it. It sat on my collections for 7 years. Stupid, just dumb. And again, I was just dumb, right? And so the point is, if you give people access to it like that, especially young people, they're gonna waste money, right? Like cars in general. Buying a car is where people burn money. They waste money buying a car. Because a lot of the time they make it really easy to, and everybody wants to look rich, you know, everybody wants to look successful, everybody wants to look wealthy and be validated in how they feel and all that stuff. And so people end up just locking themselves into debt to look rich. And it's honestly much better. Buy a used car with low miles. You should be fine, right? Like buy a used Honda with low miles. It should be cheap. It'll get you from A to B. And it's not going to lock you into debt. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that. Well, yeah, with collections, everything falls off after 7 years, right? So I was stupid. This was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, however long, not 30, but this was decades ago for me. I'm in my 30s now. And so, you know, any credit, the worst thing that you can do if somebody calls, like if a debt collector calls, the worst thing you can do is admit the debt is yours and say, oh yeah, that's my debt. You know, they're going to ask you for your birth date. Don't answer them. They're going to ask you for your, don't answer them. They're going to ask you for your information because they want to validate the debt. You never answer it, because most of the time the debt collectors are buying it for pennies off the dollar from somebody else, and they don't really have the information that they need to verify and validate that debt. And so if you're just like, yo, that's not my debt, send me proof of it, it's not mine, I'm not giving you any other information, most of the time they don't have the proof, and they'll just remove it from your credit report, and they'll just say, all right, well, we can't get this guy, right? But if you're dumb enough to be like, yeah, that's me, I bought that, I'm so sorry, and you think that they're actually the original company that you're in debt with, then it'll restart your debt. You'll have to wait another 7 years to do it. But all debt falls off your report within 7 years, as long as you don't validate it and you know. Yeah. Bitcoin goes to 130 by mid 2025. I just think Bitcoin's so close to a huge milestone level that it's pretty likely that we're pretty soon going to break 100K. People buy things to impress people they don't like. Yeah. Dumb enough or honest enough. It's not about being honest. It's about because the company buying your debt from you is not honest, right? Like, they're going to harass you. For everybody, debt is supposed to fall off your credit every 7 years. Right? And they're hoping to kind of restart your debt so that they can keep asking for it. It's not about honesty. That's silly, you know. It's about the technical rules behind it. And it's not about being honest. Saying, hey, I'm not going to give you information is not being honest. I would say it's being dumb. Or I would say it's being smart. It's not dishonest to just say, hey, I'm not going to talk to you, you know. And you can ask every major credit repair agency. They'll tell you the same thing. They'll tell you never admit the debt is yours, even if they validate the debt, right? The worst thing there's no benefit. Your credit report doesn't improve if you pay it. It really doesn't. You just basically got to sit on the debt for years. Eventually they might sell it to somebody else and you can get it removed or whatever. But admitting to it and paying, it's usually the worst thing you could do. Yeah, I mean, I generally agree, Golden, but I think there's outliers. I think if you get a bunch of, the only time I've ever had debt really is outside of that credit incident from me being a young 17-year-old dummy. The only time I've ever really had debt was medical debt that I didn't know. And sometimes your insurance and whomever will kind of run it up and put more on you than you should have and all this stuff. But yeah, I generally agree. Pay your debts. Unless they've sold it to a credit agency, and then, you know, screw them. Don't admit anything and just deny it. Yeah. At that point, it's a civil issue, you know? And so, anyways, Bitcoin at 98.255 thousand. I think it's inevitable it's going to hit 100K. Right, it's about being smart and playing the game. You got to play the game, right? You can be Johnny Appleseed and never tell a lie, you know? But you're just setting yourself up to be taken advantage of by debt collectors who they're not even the original people you owe the debt to, right? They're just trying to profit. And so, yeah. If Nvidia is not going up on a good news, it might start to go down. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia, we're looking at it. It's down to 140s. It's down this morning as well. We're looking at it. It's down this morning. Wells Fargo files to sell 11-year notes. Volkswagen has significantly written down its 21% stake in Northvolt, according to Reuters. Again, Macy's delaying their quarterly filings. Should be a little suspect, I think. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, Chris, I'm not talking about a car that you buy. I don't think again, if you don't pay your car debt, they're just going to impound it and you're going to lose it, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about medical debt that they've sold to collectors that they're just kind of trying to be sleazy with, you know. That's a different thing. It's about playing the game legally with what's allowed to, with what you're allowed to do, you know. Merck announces phase 3 Zenith trial evaluating one of their drugs met the primary endpoint. Study to be stopped earlier, and participants will be offered opportunity to receive the drug. Let me see. So MRK, it's up a little bit, but not too much. Target, again, we bought Target. We're up a lot. We took some profit in both Target, Pepsi. No, we didn't take any off on Pepsi. We took some profit in. Oh yeah, we took a little bit off on Pepsi. We're still in Coca-Cola. We took a little bit off of Amazon. Or no, we're still in Amazon. We're still in AMD. So we took some profit in Target and Nike. I think it was either Nike or Pepsi this morning. Palo Alto. I wonder how Tesla shorts are doing. Yeah, I wonder how the guy, you guys remember the guy that shorted Bitcoin at like 30,000? Again, I'm going to tell you it again, guys. Do not short the healthiest assets in the world. Like, if you try to short Tesla, you're probably going to lose. If you try to short Nvidia, you're probably going to lose. If you try to short Bitcoin, you're probably going to lose. You know, like shorting the healthiest assets in the world. And Bitcoin is technically one of the strongest, if not the strongest asset in the world. And just in terms of basic appreciation, right? Bitcoin is appreciated more than anything else. And so shorting it just seems risky, you know. Student loans. Yeah, student loans are kind of crazy. And I think there's a lot of predatory behavior with student loans. Like, I think it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, young John was dumb when I was 17, right? But 17-year-olds are targeted by student loan companies, and these loans are the only loans in the world that are not forgiven ever, right? You will always owe this money no matter what you do, no matter how much time has passed. And so targeting a young teenager fresh out of high school, saying, hey, we'll give you X amount of money, you know, I know a lot of people that took it and then got themselves locked into debt for a long time. A lot of them didn't even go to college. Fortunately, I never got situated like that, but I know a lot of people. And so student loans are, some of them are predatory. You know, you just got to hope the parents can kind of talk some sense into the kid and be like, hey, yo, this is it'll never go away. Yeah, Tesla at 360s. All-time highs for Tesla right now are at right around what, 414s, I think, right? Yeah, 414.50 is the all-time high for Tesla. And Tesla's up big. I still think Bitcoin's probably going to break all-time highs sometime in the next week or two, I would assume. I think we're going to hit 100K by the end of the year. It also could be like a fake out. But here's Tesla, lifetime highs at 414s. You can kind of see that up here. So we're trending towards that level. What do you think about companies like Affirm in the current credit climate? What problems would they run into if there's massive people who default? I don't know. What is Affirm? Is the buy now, pay later company, right? Again, fortunately, I don't ever really get loans or lending or anything. Like, I don't need lending. I don't need loans. I don't need to buy now, pay later. I don't need any of that stuff. So I'm not really sure exactly what Affirm does. I know it's you can pay over time for your favorite brands. I found it in 2012. I just think that it might do well when people are struggling. But I also think it's going to be a tough margin business, right? I think it's going to be a tough margin business, just because I think, you know, the people that are going to need to finance like regular everyday products like this are not gonna be in the best financial position. But I'm sure they look at it. Just depends on how stringent their testing is for people. Affirm. I mean, they're doing okay as a stock, so they must be somewhat profitable. Let me check out their EPS. See what their actual margins look like here. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I thought. They've never made money ever, except for one quarter here where they made 72 cents a share in 2020. Since then, I mean, the trend looks good. It looks like their margins are getting better, but they've never really been profitable as a company. And so this is a company that IPO that's not actually profitable. It's been in business. It's been public since 2019. Still not profitable yet. I'm wondering what their revenue is. If their revenue is increasing, they've got a shot here. But if their revenue is not like really good, I mean, their revenue is good. Here's their revenue, but it's not a company that I like. It's just pre-profit. You know, the revenue, like, they're making more and more money, and so the more people sign up, the more money they make, and they're kind of growing, and that's good and all. But for me, there's a lot of ifs, and they're not profitable yet. And so, looking at their trend on an actual stock price, yeah, I mean, just risky company. You don't think it's a good idea to buy stuff in 12 installments without interest? No, I think it's okay for the customer. I think it's bad business for the company. You know, like, do whatever you want to do. I don't think financing anything, you know, inflation can work in your favor, sure, but that's long term. And so, you know, financing something for 3% better price, you know, I guess you could do it, but I think a lot of people aren't going to pay it, and then it's going to ding their credit. I think it's the riskiest thing for the business itself, and so I think if they can't get profitable, they're going to struggle. Yeah, for sure, Ed, 100%. For an 80K vehicle, I'm guessing the payment's more than 1K a month. The amortization's just gonna eat, you know, eat up people though. Yeah. Or not the amortization, but the interest is going to eat up a lot of people. Like, what happens is people take out loans, and they end up paying off of it over time, and they think that they're chipping away at their debt, but really they're chipping away at their interest, and they're staying kind of break even with their debt, right? We see that a lot. And of course, every lender is going to tell you it's always a good time to get a loan. I don't know if right now is a good time to get a loan. Where's GameStop? I know they were talking about GameStop. Mortgage rates up again last week. Yeah, only get no interest if you do 4 total payments bi-weekly. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, it's hard to turn a profit. The margins aren't good, is what I'm saying. And that's probably why they've been freaking public for 4 years now, and they've never really turned a profit except for one quarter 4 or 5 years ago. It just doesn't seem like a good business. It seems like very risky business, and it's not something that I necessarily want to invest in as a company, regardless of the economic climate or anything like that. It just seems like a risky business that's not making money. Yeah, but we're looking at Tesla here. Yeah, Bitcoin's coming down some. GameStop's still at 28s. Bitcoin falling some now. You know, I think we might consolidate for a little while and then we're going to make a big run, but I might be wrong. Not an investment professional, of course, not liable if you freaking lose. No idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Don't copy me. But I think we might, like, again, I think Bitcoin will consolidate, will chop, and then one day we're just going to rip up, probably. Yeah, rates are still 7%. What's up, Pawn's wifey? Bitcoin selling, yeah. Yeah, remember it's a slow trading week. All right, so Thursday the market closes at 12 p.m. Actually, I guess the markets are kind of open. The stock market, the stock market's probably closed on Thanksgiving. But I think futures. I think futures are still going to be open, right? So, yeah, holiday schedule. All right, so the equities futures are going to be closed Thursday. So nothing's really going to be open except for, like, yeah. This is where ChatGPT is useful. So yeah, so a lot of people have concerns over inflation. They're saying concerns over inflation have resurfaced in financial markets following everything with the election. Potential policies such as additional tax cuts and import tariffs have contributed to a rise in the 10-year Treasury yield. If you look at the 10-year yield here, here's the 10-year. It's at 4.4% currently. Investor worried about increasing fiscal deficits and inflation. Commodities like oil and gold have also gone up, but I think gold is still down over the last few months. Yeah, so gold is down. Gold's been basically dropping since October, but it has had a little resurgence since over the last 10 days. The last 10 days we have seen big increases in gold, so we'll see if that continues. But yeah, Nvidia earnings didn't end up benefiting stocks. So Nvidia's recent earnings report did not significantly impact the broader stock market as anticipated. The options market have expected almost a 9% swing. Nvidia stock increased only 0.5% on Thursday and ended the week up by less than 1%. It still broke lifetime highs though. So Nvidia did break lifetime highs in it, but Nvidia now down this morning. It's at 141s right now, 141s. A lot of people are gravitating towards other stuff. Yeah, I'm not buying Comcast regardless of how well it does. And key to fill the gap at the open. Okay, so it's closed Thanksgiving. John, do you think people could FOMO in after Thanksgiving? I mean, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Okay, so is question is the let me ask. It's the U.S. stock markets closed for the entire day. Equity futures halt trading at noon. Reopen at 5. Bond markets closed. So equity futures will be open the morning of Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. They're just going to be shortened trading hours, it looks like. Yeah, so they're open Thursday. The stock market's closed, but futures are open. I know you don't know, just asking if you can make an educated guess. For what? For what? Do you think people could FOMO in after Thanksgiving? I think we could have what's called a Santa rally, right? Where Santa rally is essentially like during the month of December, leading closer to the Christmas holiday. The market starts to run, and we get a run into. Sometimes we get it after Christmas, leading into New Year. Other times we get it leading into the Christmas holiday. So it just depends, right? It really depends. There's a lot of ways you can do it. So we're going to day trade in futures this morning as well, chat. So stick around. We are going to be day trading futures live. We're going to be doing our own day trading show like we always do. All right, so Nvidia bouncing back some. We're going to day trade now, but we're going to do our own dedicated day trading stream as well. So we are going to day trade now. Or not right now, but we're going to do our own dedicated day trading stream as we get closer to the opening bell. Anything you guys think we should trade this morning? Just woke up this morning, my dog ate my parrot. Honestly, I got a really sad story. I had a parakeet named Pete growing up. And my parents told me not to play with it. And but I wanted to play with Pete. And so I took Pete out the cage. My cat Waffles. Great cat, but terrible in this moment. Got Pete. It was actually kind of traumatic for me as a kid. I remember, you know, rest in peace to Pete the parrot. Or Pete the parakeet. Yeah, parakeets are great. I love birds too. I really do. Birds are cool. Yeah, Tesla's up a lot, but it just depends on what you guys think it'll do moving forward. We're gonna start to day trade a little bit here just to poke around. Yeah. Yeah, let me get a poll. Does the market close red or green today, guys? We're going to do a poll right now. Also, if you want to day trade, we're going to be day trading on Top Step today. So we are going to be day trading on Top Step a little bit later. So stick around. We day trade live every weekday morning right here. And so we don't sell a course. We don't sell a service. We don't claim to be experts. Top Step is where you should learn to day trade. There's no PDT rule in futures. And so instead of putting $5, $10, $15, $20,000 into stocks trying to day trade, you can day trade futures, no PDT rule. You can day trade the NASDAQ, the S&P, basically the SPY and Q price action, gold, currencies, no PDT restrictions. If you day trade equities, patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns. There's just no PDT rule. And what Top Step does, it's a beautiful middle ground for new traders. They give you a demo. They test your skill with the demo. If you pass the test with the demo, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose the monthly subscription. And so it's a perfect middle ground of pressure where you're learning how to do something. You got some pressure on you to succeed, but when you lose, which is most day traders are going to lose, instead of losing $20,000-$30,000 of your own money, you lose 49 bucks, which is the base one. It's a reasonable ratio. You got to make 3K in the demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions. And they've paid out over 100 million since 2020. They fund thousands of traders. They're the most legit one in the world. Remember, not an investment professional. I'm definitely biased in my own favor. Always do your own assessment. Trade responsibly. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance has limitations, guys. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Top 3 disclaimers in the world right now. Anyways, Tesla going choppy. Nvidia's bouncing back, almost green. So you can see this light blue line up here. So if I move myself up here, you can kind of see above us on Nvidia, we have this level where we've got the previous closing price of this light blue line. We've got the volume weighted average price, and we've got the 200 exponential moving average. Now, this is all around the same spot. It's all around the same spot. That's a big milestone area on the chart right here. So this is a big milestone level on the chart. A lot of people are going to be paying attention to this, kind of this level right here. Right, we got the 200 EMA, the volume weighted average price, the previous closing price at the light blue. And so that's a big level. I'm not saying we're going to reject or hold. It just depends. But it's a level that I would be paying attention to. And I think it's a level that's going to influence the whole market, in all honesty, right? Here's the NASDAQ. We're going to put Top Step X up and start to play around on Top Step X today. But yeah. All right, so here's the NASDAQ here. You can kind of see the NASDAQ sitting tight up here. Here we are. Again, there's Nvidia. Nvidia hitting that level now. So look, here's the previous close, the 200 exponential, the volume weighted average price. Big milestone level sitting right around the same spot. Pete got Faye, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Pete. Great animal, you know. Waffles took him out, you know. Cheers to Pete. I was young, so forgive me, you know. My parents told me not to. Figured Tesla would miss. Yeah, we don't have any big earnings except for CrowdStrike this week. We got some stuff though. So we do have some stuff going live. All right, so we're shorting the NASDAQ here. One contract. I just want to see if we give back some today. Really, it's going to depend on what Nvidia does. It's a small range, honestly. The market range and volatility is light today, I think. Like, let me look at the VIX. What's the VIX show? Yeah, VIX is low. Very low. Yeah, well, we were wrong about this one. This one just ripped up on us. Less than $100, though. We'll take it. Could be worse. This morning we had Bed Bath & Beyond, Splash Beverage, a couple other companies that reported earnings, but nothing really big. This afternoon we got like Zoom. We got Abercrombie & Fitch tomorrow morning, Kohl's, Best Buy, Dick's Sporting Goods, Analog Devices, Manchester United. Manchester United. Tuesday. Tomorrow evening, we've got Dell, CrowdStrike, Workday, HP. Nothing big, but they're all interesting enough to watch. I think I'm gonna wait until after the opening bell today to really get my like good day trading in. I've noticed I do much better after the open, but before the open, sometimes I'll build up some losses. And so, yeah. Waffles. Yeah. Waffles was my cat. My sister and I each had a cat. We got them as kittens. And so my sister got one. She got a black cat named Star, was her name. I got like a yellow and orangish cat that I thought looked like waffles, and so I named it Waffles. Good cat. Lived a long time too, except for when it ate Pete. All right, so if you're gonna sign up for Top Step, use Top Step X. There's 0 commissions. 0 commission on Top Step X. Why you say Manchester United? Because I think about Euro Trip when he talks about Manchester United. I don't know anything about soccer or football. I know y'all are gonna get mad at me for even saying soccer. I don't know anything about it, but I do know Manchester United football team from the movie Euro Trip. And so when I saw Manchester United, which is actually a public company, I chuckled a little bit. I'm sorry. Anyways, so we went up to that level on Nvidia, big milestone level. Microsoft, yeah, well, Microsoft had a crazy run leading up to all this stuff too, though. So Microsoft had a crazy run. MicroStrategy, yeah. Hey, do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join our Discord, completely free to join, doesn't cost anything. We're starting to grow our Discord and it's starting to get some users. I mean, we already have thousands. I think we got like 6,000 or 7,000 users on Discord. But I don't post on it as much as I should, but I'm starting to. All right, I'm starting to. All right, so again, remember, we talked about this level, and this is an important kind of lesson here on milestone levels and their relevance. Look at Nvidia. We talked about this level. Look at exactly where we reject. We literally went up to this level, rejected directly off of it. Predictable, I would say, predictable. Too bad we lost money trying to day trade futures, but predictable. Tell us which trade to open now. I'm never going to do that, Daniel. I'm never going to do that, bro. I'm not going to, you know, tell you guys what to do in trading. I have no freaking idea what you should do, bro. And look, we reject right off. The 200 exponential on a 1 minute chart is really easy to gauge though. Like, look at the 200 exponential right here. Look at exactly where this thing goes. I think it's following Nvidia to a certain extent, but that 200 exponential level is important. Like, you can see it on TOS too. Like, here's on TOS. This is Top Step X. Well, you have to look at it in terms of like trend, Phil. And so like an example of this is like the Nasdaq's downward trending, right? And this is really just telling us a trend. And so if you want to look at like a pivot point in the trend, you look at the 200 exponential. And so it's not like we really just have to look at it like this. Are we trending cleanly in a specific direction? If we are, it's much more likely that we're going to continue in that trend, right? And so when we move up to the 200 exponential, a pivot point, like a milestone level, it's much more probable that we're going to reject off of that level like this, reject off of the level like this, and just kind of continue in the trend that we're in, right? It's a pivot level on stocks. It's a good milestone level in that regard, though. Who? Am I missing some chats? Let me see. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one. So Nvidia hits 151 again, drops, then goes back to 151s and goes above. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Nvidia downward trending stock. You can kind of see the same thing, right? So what I meant, like, trend-wise, is you can look at it like this, right? So we're in a trend. When this level gets close to the other one, look at how well it respects this. Like, look at this, right? So when it gets close to the other one, when the VWAP and the 200 exponential are right around the same spot, it's a really clean trend indicator. Not perfect, but it's generally pretty clean. the moon. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, Daniel, so it seems almost like, so just a friendly warning, Daniel Kong. We're not going to give you stock market advice. We're not going to give you investment advice. We're not going to tell you what to do ever, right? And so it seems like almost for the last few weeks that's like only what you're asking for. I'm not sure if it's a troll or if you're just kind of trying to get me to do something I'm not supposed to do. Either way, again, we don't give investment advice. We don't tell people what to do ever here. We're not telling you to buy anything. We're not going to tell you to sell anything. So just like I guess like a friendly warning. If you keep asking for it, we're going to just kick you out of here, right? We're not going to tell you what to do. We're not going to tell you what to buy. We're not going to give you investment advice. We're going to always preface it with, we are not experts. And yeah, we have no idea what's going to happen. As anybody that's honest will tell you that. Hey, nice, Jeff. AMD slightly pushing up over the weekend. Yeah, so if you guys remember all the stuff I bought last week, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good, right? So we bought Target, up really nice on Target. We bought Pepsi, up really nice on Pepsi. We bought Nike, up really, really nice on Nike, to be honest. We bought Coca-Cola. We're slightly green on Coke. We bought Amazon. We're green now this morning. We were red most of the position, but now we're actually technically green. And we bought AMD, which we're really nicely green in today. So good so far. We're green on everything we bought. We bought 5 stocks: Target, Pepsi, Nike, Coca-Cola, Amazon, and AMD. And the reason we bought these stocks is because they were all kind of down over the last couple weeks or months. So I thought it was a decent time to kind of buy the dip in some of these. And that turned out to work fairly well. Very few people actually say you'll lose money. Well, almost all day traders lose, right? Like, this is not even like I would say a controversial take. Almost all day traders lose, right? So you can lose funding your own account and just lose more, or you could try a funded account program. And again, regardless, you're still probably going to lose, because no matter what, most day traders lose. Doesn't matter where they go. A lot of people like to criticize individual platforms or whomever, but most people are going to lose regardless. And so, yeah, limit your risk, teaches you how to trade, right? I'll tell you, it's going to be cold this week. What happens if you do give out advice? Nothing. I mean, nothing. It's not, nothing will probably happen to me if I give out advice, right? It's just about what's the right thing to do. Is it like, I don't want to tell people what to do, because if I'm wrong, then they're going to get mad at me, right? There's also like financial advice. Like, it varies. The reason I was talking to Daniel is because he very specifically, like, keeps asking for buzzwords that he knows I can't tell him, right? Nice. Yeah, there's the Discord link if the previous one didn't work. Yeah, remember, it's a holiday week. We might get choppiness, I'm not sure. And I guess, like, for Daniel, it would be fine if he was also posting, like valuable things, but he's mostly only kind of saying controversial stuff and then not really saying anything else ever. And so it's not going to be a huge net loss if he gets banned, but, you know, I don't want to have to do it. A little biased, but I think it could be. NASDAQ super choppy still. Yeah, and it's the holiday week. All right, so look, we're testing the 200 exponential now on the NASDAQ. We've been in this upward trend or this downward trend essentially all morning, but we're starting to break above it now. I think it's important because we've tested this level a couple times today and then ended up coming right back down. And so I think it's important for this to hold, right? I don't want to see something like a cup and handle where we break over it and then we come all the way back down to like here and then we bounce back. If that's the case, I'm going to short it here, look for a breakdown. But I think we just got to be patient and wait. It's also possible we do start changing trends. Look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ just broke over that level. Let's watch NVIDIA. But here goes the NASDAQ starting to push over the 200 exponential. Yeah, it's a good idea to post disclaimers if you're in my position for sure, 100%. Yeah, people try to blame you, get weird. Like, the internet's generally, the people who are the weirdest are people who have tried to be YouTubers and failed at it, right? Like, those are some of them are super weird, super strange. I have some personal experience. I'm not going to go into it, but some of them are super off, super strange. All right, so again, we're actually up a lot. I don't know what I want to do with my target position. So we're over the 200 exponential now. We're going to wait here, though. Usually I short a candle like this, to be honest. But, all right, so we did have this nice big move. It looks like it was a good thing that I did wait. It's a big pop over this level, but then that's a big rejection up there too. I'm just really thinking about buying this big candle wick up, but it's hard to tell. We're starting to rebound a lot in different markets here. Here's the NASDAQ. I'm looking at other blue chip stocks, so I'm looking at the NASDAQ. I'm looking at Apple. Apple at 231. So Apple's green. It's going up. Let me see if I can buy this. I'm going to buy this now. 2 contracts. This is a challenge account, so we'll switch to our actual funded account later. There we go. Took half off there. Locked it in. We can hold the rest, kind of break even now. There we go. Nice. Nice. We just made $100. Flat on the day now, so that's good. We probably could have held it a little bit longer. And again, the reason I buy this up, I think I've talked about this before. It doesn't work every time. But if we get a really, really thin, like tiny candle wick and then a big candle like this, a lot of the time the following candle is going to look just like this did, right? Where we move up, we fill the candle at least some like this, or maybe like up here or whatever. That's going to happen a lot. And it's just really short-term extension, you know, and it needs to be a big candle. Like, I think there's been some instances where I jumped in a little late or a little bit early when the candle was still forming. But if it's a big candle wick like this, that's when I target. And it also, there's a couple nuances of the strategy that I can't follow. If there's 2 instances of it right next to each other, I don't mess with it, because then it's a little bit more ambiguous which direction we're going to head. Anyways, NASDAQ is up, technically green on the day now. Or no, NASDAQ is up over the 200 exponential. I think it's green anyway. Let me see. Where's the previous closing price on the NASDAQ? Are we up that? Okay, so yeah, we're very green on the NQ today. Almost up to 21,000. Let's see if we can hold over that 200 exponential level, though. I think people keep coming back here because you're not some ridiculous signal chanting, flashing Lambos. Yeah, I mean, mostly it's economic reports is why people come back. They know I'm going to cover it. And so, like, slow days, we might not get a ton. And, like, we 400 or 500 people, still a lot, right? But on economic report days, people tune in droves because they know we're going to cover it, right? They know we're going to cover it. They know we're going to talk about it. They know we're going to break it down. And I think that's the innate value of the channel, is that right now. And that's where I'd like it. I'm more of an economist over everything. Yeah, I'll use TradingView. TradingView has their Black Friday sale. Like, I'll use TradingView, but I also like looking at the 200 exponential here. Where'd my candlestick go? Yeah, there's the Nasdaq. Here's Nvidia. We're still watching it pretty closely here. I think I have to put like the personal. Alright, so we got the exponential, but we want to edit this to put too many up. We'll do 200. Nice, there's the 200 exponential. Still, Nvidia's still struggling to get over it. Hey, what's up, Davey? Yeah, so the market's starting to bounce back pretty significantly here too. Look at all this run. So Nvidia's still got a little ways to go though. Still got to break over some like major milestone levels. This is a big run. I'm going to start to short this move up here a little bit. We're going to start day trading closer to the open. But I think we're going to pull back to at least test that 200 exponential. But it really depends on what Nvidia does right here. But we'll take one contract. Pretty big upswing here, man. I don't know if there's any news to cause this. Man, dude, we lost 250 there. What a run, man. What happened? Some type of news almost certainly happened here with Nvidia. Let me see if I can find it. We had the US National Activity Index, but I don't think that was it. Let me see if there's any Nvidia news. Luckily, again, this is a challenge account. We're trading early this morning on it. All right, so I see some news that come out. Raging AI debate could deliver fuel for Direxion's Nvidia-focused funds. NVDU and NVDD is one of the news stories I see come out. Palantir stock can get another AI boost, they're saying. Let me see Palantir. Look at this run in the Nasdaq. What a move here. Nvidia popped over those big milestone levels too. Quantum stock. Which stock? What's the symbol? Yeah, I'm not. I don't know what happened here. This is a big move, though. I think Nvidia moved up, but I think this is mostly Apple breaking highs, Amazon testing highs, Meta's around highs, Microsoft's around highs. So most blue chips are very green today. So this is just tech running. Nvidia is running up too. So you can see Nvidia up too. Nvidia's still red over the last few days, but it's starting to find its way back to green today. You can kind of see it here. Yeah, I'm gonna put Bitcoin up too. I'm just gonna put the actual Bitcoin price. Yeah, Bitcoin at 97.7s here. AMD? Is this AMD? I'm in AMD right now. Hey, AMD is ripping up too. Wow. Yeah, look at AMD up here, guys. So we're in AMD right now. I'm gonna take a little bit off, to be honest, just because we can. It's gapping up a pretty big amount. So we're gonna just lock in some. Just took that off. Still grinding it up some, but we'll try to be patient like we can. But look at this NASDAQ run, man. I'm just glad we got our, remember, we got our, we got the lag fixed. Also shelling 3 shares of AMD. Yeah, honestly, man, like I still trade, like I swing trade, and I'm up thousands on the year on TOS, right? Swing trading, investing, like buying stocks. But my percentage results are so good. I really think about trying to make a run and just like sizing up a lot, just because like the way I do it works, right? And you got to look at a complete picture of stocks. But remember, like I bought up stocks that were down. I bought up AMD, which was down. Just to give you like I bought up AMD, which is down, and here's AMD right here on the bottom. It's up to almost 141s. You know, we ended up taking a little bit off just now, but my average price in AMD is 137s. 137s. So we bought an Amazon at 198. It's at almost 200. We bought up Coca-Cola at 63s. It's at 64s now. Kind of flat there. We bought Nike at 75s. It's at 78s. We bought Pepsi at 160s. It's at 163s or 162s right now. And we bought up Target at 122. It's currently at 127s right now. And so these type of trades are super easy. I'm not going to say like they're always guaranteed, but if you're smart and you diversify into multiple, look at the NASDAQ run here, guys. Wow. Mostly driven by AMD. I would say AMD and Apple right now, as well as Nvidia. Nvidia is running up too. Nvidia is the one that really has the volume, I guess. Look at Nvidia here. Did you see the quantum computing? Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to feel about quantum computing though. It's hard to tell. It really is. It's hard to tell about quantum, like QUBT, QBTS. Like these are all up big over the last few days, and I think quantum computing is probably the future. But I also think that like there's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of stuff that could happen, good and bad, for the quantum sector. And so I like it. I think it's fine to dedicate a small percentage of your portfolio to it, but I'm certainly not telling you what to do. Always make your own assessment, trade responsibly. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about futures, you know, holding overnight futures. Futures are mostly meant for day trading. Maybe set yourself a compounding challenge, yeah, for sure. I don't do speed tests. I don't think anything. I don't think looking at anything with I need to make this much this fast is ever healthy in stocks and in trading in general, right? I think you have to look at it outside of like day trading. In day trading, you can say, hey, if we don't break this level within X amount of time, I'm not going to take it or whatever. That's fine. But when you're investing or swing trading and you're buying up stocks, I never short. Like when I'm buying up stuff, a lot of the stuff I buy are going to go up long term anyway, and that's a huge part of my system. But most of the time, I don't need to hold them long term. Like usually I buy them cheap, I take profit on the bounce, and then I sit on them if I like them enough. Yeah, I mean, that would be a great thing, talking about quantum. A lot of people here talking about quantum stuff. Do it, John. Let us learn from you. Hey, thanks, man. Again, we're green on the year. Like, I'm up thousands on the year on toss doing this. But, like, even though my account's big, I still trade kind of small, right? And maybe that's good, maybe that's not. I know what quantum computing is. Like, I know what quantum computing is. What I'm saying, though, is that because quantum computing right now are not the most scalable things, right? Because the actual computers are not super scalable, they're super, super expensive. The question is, how efficient are they going to be leading into the future, right? Like, is it scalable is what I'm asking here regarding quantum stuff. I know exactly what quantum computers are. The question is it scalable? Is it scalable enough to bet on long term? I think quantum computing has a huge edge, and I think in the age of AI, there's even more optimism towards them. But it's still really early. And the thing about technology is, like, we see one thing, and then technology enables us to use something else, and then that gets big, and then, you know, technology enables us to look at something else, and then that gets big, right? And in history of technology, that's something that we've seen. There's been a lot of things that were going to save the world that fell by the wayside because something else better and more efficient came out. And I think that's the only issue with quantum right now, is that it's highly optimistic. I think it's probably going to be the future, and I think I'm okay with dedicating some buying power on that. But I don't think it's a sure thing for sure. Like, I don't think it's 100% going to happen. I think there's always variance, and I think you got to just approach it like with that in mind. All right, so again, with that said, there's some nice little penny stocks. Energy and cooling may be roadblocks. Yeah, no, I like the technology of it, which it basically enables you to do stuff like regular computing uses binary and like ones and zeros, and they do it in order, or they do it in order to a certain extent. What quantum computing enables them to do is do a lot of stuff simultaneously, right? And so you have a lot more thinking power. Like, to dumb it down a little bit, you get a lot more thinking power, speed, right? So your computer can process things much faster. But they're super expensive. They're super delicate as well, is one of the big problems, right? They're super delicate, and it's not as scalable as we would like so far, right? But sometimes when stuff happens, like, we can build towards it, and eventually the technology is going to get there. And I think that's probably the case with quantum stuff too. But again, they're super delicate. They're super fragile, and they're not as scalable as we want them to be. Is sub-only mode here? Sub-only mode should be here. Yeah. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Saba got destroyed today. Yeah. No, I don't really look at those sharp. Not really. Anybody watch that show Landman? I've been watching Landman with my wife. And the investor slash business person to me is like curious about oil now. But to be honest, it seems super nuanced and super difficult to like learn. Sava? Cassava Sciences. Sava down, man. Wow, look at Sava here, chat. Look at Sava. Pawn just sent me this chart. Look at this gap down. Gapping down from like $25 all the way to 420s. Yeah, so this might be dragging a lot of stuff down. Sava. So the Alzheimer's disease trial fails to meet its goals. And this is why I don't like biotech stocks, right? Everybody gets all optimistic. They get all hyped up. You know, they jump on board the train of like optimism regarding biotech companies, pharmaceutical companies. One bad trial result will completely destroy the stock, right? And this is exactly what happened. Bad trial results. Cassava Sciences is down 85% this morning. They said a trial of treatment for mild to moderate Alzheimer's fails to meet its main goals. It's an Austin, Texas company. It treats neurodegenerative diseases. It said in a regulatory filing that it will still present the data at coming medical meetings. It would hold a conference with analysts at 8 a.m. Phase 3 trial sought to evaluate their novel treatment called simulfilm as a treatment for cognitive and functional decline versus placebo, but it failed to deliver at 52 weeks. Yeah, so unfortunate. But this company's down massively, and I'm wondering if it's negatively impacting all of the pharmaceutical industry. Yeah, I've seen Yellowstone. I've seen Yellowstone 1 through 5. I haven't seen the last episode though, which I believe is episode 10 of season 5. Haven't seen that yet. They lost Kevin Costner. Part of me is kind of mad with Kevin Costner because of like finish the series out, even if they pay you less. You know what I mean? Like, just finish it out. Like, let the series end, you know? Don't ruin it. What do you think of MicroStrategy? I think MicroStrategy is going to do well as long as Bitcoin does well. Oh, 100% Femi. I said the same thing to my wife. I thought that was kind of weird. 100% agree. Absolutely agree. Right? Now she's probably not actually that age, but I absolutely agree. I told my wife, I thought it was kind of weird how they were framing everything, you know. Real life isn't sci-fi. Yeah, most of the time, you're right. Biotech stocks is like going to a casino and putting all your money on 1 or 2 roulette squares. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like that, but if you actually win, Jeff, you can 20, 30x. You know what I mean? So it's big risk, big reward, and it's really good risk reward, but low accuracy, right? So what I mean by that is like investing in biotech companies, you're going to lose on most of them. The ones you make money on can really have huge gains, but the accuracy on making money is pretty low, you know. So most people are gonna lose. Some people are gonna get lucky, basically. John is just a chill guy. You might be a little bit delayed in the stream, Oreo. Hit the live button next to the play button, brother. All right. Chat, we are going to be day trading live today. So we are going to be day trading live, so stick around. We got our day trading show we're going to be doing. Make sure we got this set up straight. Everything's good. You're good there. MicroStrategy price swings more than any of their stock I've seen. Well, yeah, it's based off of Bitcoin, so of course it's going to move super big range. Most yield you've gotten from one trade? I don't know. I don't really invest in penny stocks, and so I'm sure like the yield that I make per trade might be lower. I think you have to look at it in terms of like one of my best trades was United Airlines, MGM, years ago. In 2020, after everything crashed, I bought up a lot of different stocks. I bought call options on MGM. I bought shares in United Airlines. A lot of people made fun of me, talked smack about it, and we ended up doing really good percentage returns on both of those. Just because like the crash happened, like the little micro crash happened fast, and we bought up stuff right at the bottom. And we ended up doing, United Airlines ended up bouncing back 100% plus very quickly. MGM did the same thing. MGM hit $6 a share. $6 a share. And so we just got some really good opportunities there. Yeah, we just got some really good opportunities there. MGM currently at $40 a share. United Airlines at almost 100. And we bought it. I remember we bought it at like 20. And it was at 40 within a couple weeks. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and pivot to our day trading show. Don't go anywhere. Literally, as soon as we end the stream, it's immediately going to bring you to our day trading show. And so don't go anywhere. As soon as we end the stream, it's going to bring you to our other show. And so, again, if it doesn't for whatever reason, here's the link to the other show we're doing. Yeah, if it doesn't for whatever reason, here's the link. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. And yeah, here's the show. Yeah, here's the show. All right, so again, as soon as we end this, it's going to immediately bring you. It shouldn't go anywhere. If you want to check out the link, there it is right there if you want to see it. But yeah, we're going to go over to the new show, right? Let me make sure the redirect works. One more time. Yeah, we got redirect working. All right, cool. All right, guys. I'll see you guys over there.